Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack. Today I have in front of me the Shadows over Innistrad block. There are only two sets in the block, Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon. So today I'm going to crack the Shadows over Innistrad pack, and then in my next Magic the Gathering video I'm going to crack Eldritch Moon. Hopefully I'll get something awesome out of either pack. Let's get to cracking the Shadows over Innistrad pack. As usual, my commentary is going to be from a very casual Magic the Gathering point of view. Kitchen table magic, if you will. One interesting thing about the Shadows over Innistrad set was in the booster packs, you either got a blue or a white card as your very first card. Just the Wind, 2 mana, 1 and a blue, instant, return target creature to its owner's hand, Madness for a single blue. In Shadows over Innistrad, Madness returned. In this instance, Just the Wind, if I were discarding it, I would only need to pay a single blue mana. Next is Cathar's Champion, 3 mana, 2 and a white. It's a hound at 3/1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Cathar's Companion gains indestructible until end of turn. Cathar's Champion could see a lot of play if you feature it in a non-creature deck, though it seems to be a card that wants to be in a heavy, aggressive creature deck. At common, this isn't a card that sees much play. Next up is Gone Missing, 5 mana, 4 and a blue, sorcery. Put target permanent on top of its owner's library. Investigate. So Investigate was a brand new mechanic in Shadows over Innistrad. When you investigated, you put out a colorless clue artifact token, and then you could pay 2 and sacrifice the artifact to draw a card. Gone Missing is always a fun trick to take their best creature and put it on top of their deck. Next up is Moldgraf Scavenger, 2 mana, 1 and a green. It's a fungus at 0/4. It has Delirium. So Delirium was a new keyword in Shadows over Innistrad. Moldgraf Scavenger gets +3/+0 as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. This card was a bomb in Limited. By pairing it with black, Moldgraf Scavenger on turn 3 easily was attacking as a 3/4. Next card is Might Beyond Reason, 4 mana, 3 and a green, instant. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Delirium, put 3 +1/+1 counters on that creature instead if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. 4 mana, putting 3 +1/+1 counters on a creature is pretty powerful if you have Delirium. If not, it seems to be a little overcosted simply to put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target creature. Next up is Stromkirk Mentor, 4 mana, 3 and a black. It's a vampire soldier at 4/2. When Stromkirk Mentor enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target vampire you control. Being able to put a +1/+1 counter on another target vampire when this enters the battlefield is okay. Next up is Tormenting Voice. 2 mana, 1 and a red, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Tormenting Voice, discard a card, draw 2 cards. For a long time, this was the staple card for red draw. At sorcery speed, you discard a card, draw 2 cards. Recently, Thrill of Possibility has made Tormenting Voice strictly worse, in that Thrill of Possibility, for the exact same mana cost, can be done at instant speed. Next up is Clip Wings, 2 mana, 1 and a green. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. This was a really funny card in Limited. I remember playing it against one of my friends when we did our draft. He had Avacyn. Clipped Wings was awesome because I played it and he had to sacrifice Avacyn. Next up is Graph Mole. It's our first uncommon for 3 mana, 2 and a green. It's a mole beast at 2/4. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you gain 3 life. Blue-green had a lot of investigate mechanics. Playing Graph Mole Unlimited kept you in the game because you were continuously gaining 3 life and drawing a card. Indulgent Aristocrat, single black mana, vampire. It's a 1/1. It has lifelink. You can pay 2 generic mana, sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Indulgent Aristocrat has become a pretty powerful card in vampire decks. Having the ability to sacrifice a creature and then put a +1/+1 counter on every vampire you control is pretty powerful. Indulgent Aristocrat having lifelink is just icing on the cake. Next up is are rare. Rattle Chains. For 2 mana, 1 and a blue, it's a spirit. At 2/1, it has flash, it has flying. When Rattle Chains enters the battlefield, target spirit gains hexproof until end of turn. You may cast spirit spells as though they had flash. Rattle Chains is a great card. I currently feature it in a white-blue spirits deck. Having the ability to flash it in and give one of my spirits hexproof is awesome. Then giving all my spirit spells flash is a pretty powerful ability. Our next card is, spoiled some really cool stuff, Uninvited Geist. 3 mana, 2 and a blue. It's a spirit at 2/2. It has Skulk, which was a new mechanic in Shadows over Innistrad. In this instance, Uninvited Geist can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. And then when Uninvited Geist deals combat damage to a player, you transform it. Similar to the original Innistrad block, there were transform creatures. If it did combat damage to an opposing player, I'd be able to transform it and it would become Unimpeded Trespasser. It can't be blocked, and it's a 3/3. Okay, next card we have is a Mythic Foil. Mindwreck Demon. 4 mana, 2 and 2 black. It's a demon at 4/5. It has flying, trample. When Mindwreck Demon enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Delirium. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 4 life unless there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. A 4/5 flyer with trample already is really cool. Being able to get it on turn 4 is awesome. Having a great mill effect in that you're going to get yourself Delirium, because when Mindwreck Demon enters the battlefield, you're already milling 4 cards into your graveyard. If you play it in black-green, chances are by the time Mindwreck Demon hits the battlefield, you're already going to have Delirium. And then we have a checklist card, which if you're playing see-through sleeves, you can put this on the back of your double face card. So for instance, Uninvited Geist, and then it's got the regular back. So with see-through sleeves, you won't be revealing too much to your opponent. And then a Red Devil token. When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So my favorite card out of the pack is going to be between Rattle Chains and Mindwreck Demon. I've played a little bit with Mindwreck Demon. Because it's mythic, I only have 1 copy of it. I was able to get a playset of Rattle Chains, and it currently is the glue that holds my Spirits deck together. It's a very powerful card in that it allows me to cast all of my spirits at instant speed. I can hold up counter spells. If nothing is played that I need to counter, I can flash in one of my spirits, and it makes the deck a very strong deck, and frequently a deck that I'll win with. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Take some time to tell me in the comment section what was your favorite card or the best card out of the pack. Until next time, when I'm back to crack my Eldritch Moon booster pack.